All right, there we are. I'm like, okay, is it coming? Hello, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I hope everybody is doing well. Wednesday already. How does these weeks fly by? I have no idea. It is absolutely crazy. But it is Wednesday already, so that's how it goes. Um, anyway, before we jump into anything, I do want to say that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, you will be booted out of here. So, in honor of this live stream tonight, let me show you my shirt real quick. Okay, hold on. Let me just. All right, U.S. Army. Huh? All right. Now, this is a gift that was sent in the mail. It says, "Hey Ed, I wanted to send you a small gift for the holidays. Keep up the great content coming. Stay warm." Neighbor Bob. He's obviously a follower on YouTube. So neighbor Bob, thank you very much. Can I help you? Ma'am? No, not right now. Get down. So thank you very much, neighbor Bob. Very much appreciated. Love the shirt. Stop. I'm busy. No, not right now. No, ma'am. No, I don't care. You're gonna have to go down for right now. We just started the stream. We can't. We can't. You know. We can't deal with you right now. You have to wait. Okay. Uh, Probably not okay, but that's how it's gonna have to be. All right. Hella. No. Now stop. Down. No. Uh, so anyway, guys. Topic of the video is our military ready? You know, and I'm going to say to that topic, yes and no. So, what do I mean by that? A lot of the soldiers that are in the military, I don't care if it's the Air Force, the Navy, the Marines, or the Army, it doesn't really matter, the Coast Guard. There is a tremendous amount of very dedicated people. Again, it's a volunteer army, so it's not like they're forced to go in there. And so I think a lot of people that do go into the service do so out of a patriotic mindset. Now, we can't always determine who our leaders are going to be as far as who's in charge, but I will tell you what, we have some great people in the military. The hierarchy, maybe not so much, but I think that there is a tremendous amount of decent people in there. Now, they're dealing with a tremendous amount of BS too, as we know. If you've seen the different stuff that has gone on, I find it amazing that certain soldiers were kicked out because they wouldn't do this, and then all of a sudden, you know, they now they want those guys to come back. So if I shave my hair, sign me up. Oh my god, that's too funny. But yeah, it's just there are a lot of good people in the military. There for the right reasons and those type of things because they believe in this country, they love this country. I think a lot of us, honestly, that joined, um, you know, did it for those reasons. I'll tell you, kind of in a way, my story. Ever since I was a little boy, I mean, I always had the GI Joes, the Army men, and I played Army men. I don't think our military is ready now for anything serious. Well, okay, we'll address that in a second, Timmy. Tim, I didn't mean to call you Timmy. We'll address that in a minute, Tim, and we'll talk about that. Um, so when I was a child, all I ever wanted to do was to be a soldier. I only wanted to go in the army. That's all I ever wanted, and I couldn't tell you why. It's just it fascinated me. Obviously, growing up in the early '70s, it was on TV every night. You saw the different stuff, and so for me, it's like when I was a senior in high school. I never talked to the Marines. I never talked to the Air Force. I never talked to the Navy or the Coast Guard. I went straight to the Army recruiter and said I want to join, and that was it. And I signed up I think it was in January of my senior year in high school. So, and then I couldn't leave until November. I was like, I want to leave right after high school. I want to get done with high school and I want to go right in. And they were like, well, because of what I was doing with my MOS, I couldn't go in until November. So, but it was, you know, I love my country, always have loved my country. I don't like what it's turned into, to be honest with you. I don't like what the people in charge are doing to it now. There's so much shaming going on and a lot of nonsense, in my opinion. So, so somebody had made a comment. Tim had made the comment of, he doesn't think that our military is ready for right now. And to a point, I'm going to agree with that because they have really softened up basic training. It's not like when I went in. And when I went in, it wasn't like when my stepfather went in. I mean, it's a whole different, situation now. But I will tell you this: if something happened in this country and we were attacked, I think you would see a great resurgence of people going, hey, you know what? You screw with the wrong country, and we're going to show you why. I think you would see a lot of people going in at that point, and there would be a lot of patriotism with that because, I mean, you know, we're, you know, we have our own problems in this country. Okay. And this is the weird part, which I could never get. I never could get this. Okay. But we have a lot of crap that we are dealing with in this country. A lot of racism, period, always. So racism is racism. I don't care if it's black on white racism, white on black racism, black on Asian racism, Asian racism against blacks. It really doesn't matter. Okay, I mean, if you want to go black against Hispanic racism, I mean, racism is racism, okay? And that is going to happen no matter what. It's not going away anytime soon, I mean, obviously, the trendy thing now is to vilify white people, which, I mean, we don't need to get into all that. But, they're not the only ones that are racist, and not every white person is racist. So, I mean, it amazes me the mindset. But anyway, even in the military, there is a degree of racism. Okay. I was subjected to it as a white person again with black people being racist towards me. Okay. So racism is racism. It's just the way it is. One of my best friends when I was down at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, was a black gentleman. And I've told this story, guys. I've told this story before, and me and him hung out all the time until the brothers came to him and said, you pick between him and us. And so he came to me and we had that conversation. And I'll never forget it because I was like, dude, I understand. I mean, it sucks. And it sucks that they put you in that situation. But what choice did he have? I mean, he didn't. So, but at the end of the day, if we're in a combat situation, okay, if we're in a war, and at that point when I was in, we were not at war, okay. If we are in a war situation, then there's them and us, and we're wearing green and they're not, or we're wearing whatever camo we're wearing. I mean, I wore woodland when I was in. That's what we wore. Obviously they have desert woodland, and they have the different ones that they have, but it's us against them at that point. And Ed, is there a reason there are militia type organization? Absolutely, yeah. Oh, there is a reason. Yes, absolutely. I agree 100%, James. I agree 100%. There are definitely reasons why they're out there. Dawn, I miss Grenada. Okay, so Grenada happened. I missed Grenada by 6 weeks. And when I say that, what happened was when I got down to Fort Bragg, they had just gotten back. My unit that I was in had just gotten back. Was part of the 20th Engineer Brigade. Had just gotten back from Grenada, so I actually missed Grenada, and so yeah, it was that was the one thing that went on then, and that was quick. That was a real quick situation, and we dealt with it and we took care of it, and that was the end of that. But My brother was in Grenada. Okay, all right, yeah. So, but one of my friends went to Grenada. He said each member of his unit was given 5 rounds and told to make it last. Wow. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Yeah, unfortunately, I will tell you this. Okay, you know, anybody that was in the military is going to tell you, um, it is a cluster F at times. Okay, is it racism or tribalism? No, it was straight up racism. Straight up racism. It's not tribalism's a little bit different, but when you have people dictating to other people what they can and cannot do or who they can and cannot associate with, it's just like when people go to prison, folks. If you're white, you go with the whites when you go to prison. When you're black, you hang with the blacks. If you're Hispanic, you hang with the Hispanics. That's just the way that it is. And it, it's all about survival, if you will, and and teaming up and working together. So it's just an unprecedented, since none of the men had trained for such a low flying jump. Ranging battalion commander. What did I miss? I miss you said something. Oh, the 500-foot parachute drop by members of the elite Ranger 2nd Battalion into Salinas Airfield in Grenada was risky. Oh, yeah, there was a lot of stuff that happened that the way that the military is. I mean, it is um, honestly a lot of it comes down to CYA. Okay, cover your A. Um, that's what they do nonstop. If something is done that's out of line or out of step, they go into CYA mode. Deflect the blame, blame it on the soldiers. Put it off on somebody else. It's what happens. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not a perfect entity. I don't think any military is a perfect entity. But you know, the one thing is when push comes to shove, we work together pretty well in the military unit. We do what we have to do. But I think that are there are people in the military right now that should not be in the military. Okay, they should not be in the military. How's your back feeling after shoveling that rock? I shoveled more rock today again, Larry. It feels good. I went to the chiropractor 3 times. He did the adjustments that he had to do, and literally after the first visit, I felt 50% better. So no, my back feels good, and so I'm not having any pain or discomfort with that at all. So I'm really, really happy about that. Um, Not to change the subject, but anything? Did you get anything from mail? No, I checked today. I did not see anything today. I will check Thursday or Friday when I'm out and about. I will check. Probably Friday. I'll check again. So I will definitely be checking again. But but like I said, right now when you have this whole woke mentality with the military, that's an issue. That is a big time issue because that don't fly in a combat situation. It just doesn't. And there are still people that are, they're not. They go through the motions. They do what they have to do. They play the game, if you will. But when push comes to shove, um, you know, those that don't belong are not going to be around long. I guess is the right way to say it. There will be accidents. I mean, it sounds terrible to put it like that, but that's the reality. I'm going to tell you what. You know, if you guys watched um, Band of Brothers, how many people in here watch Band of Brothers? Uh, so a lot of you, yes, watched Band of Brothers. There is a part of the series in there. Well, Lieutenant Dyke, right? And the one sergeant, the guy that was a sergeant, ended up getting a battlefield commission and became a second lieutenant. He told his captain, he said, Dyke is an empty uniform. I said, he's here, but he's going to get people killed. Okay. And the reality is, if you have bad leadership gets people killed in a combat situation. Okay. And you have to, soldiers will take out somebody that doesn't, especially if it's a leader, they will take him out. There will be accidents, like I said. If you watch Band of Brothers, I mean, they basically said under oh God, what was the captain's name? They ended up shipping him out because his men said, we're not fighting for him. We're not going to have him be in charge because he was incompetent. He was a good trainer, but he was not a good soldier. He was not well, no, Winters was awesome. It wasn't Winters, Sobel. Thank you very much. Yes, Captain Sobel. He was not a good leader. So when people recognize that, and you're going to go into combat, and this is the guy that is leading you, that's frightening. That is frightening. You have to have confidence in leadership. Now, Captain Winters, and then he ended up becoming Major Winters. Um, yeah, he was never around for them, exactly, and neither was Dyke. Dyke wasn't there either. But Winters led, and he was highly respected. Anybody when they talk to the veterans, and then they have nothing but praise for Winters because he led by example. I mean, he was a fantastic leader. So if you have good leadership, and that will weed itself out, yes, will good soldiers die because of bad leadership? Absolutely. It absolutely will happen. I got some dust on here or something. Um, that always is going to happen, but that gets weeded out pretty quickly. And if somebody is incompetent, like I said, they're not going to be around long, and it could be friendly by an accident, or other means. Um, yeah, bars. Yeah, that's we always call second lieutenant. We're butter bars because they're gold. So, and generally, they don't know their A from a hole in the ground. So that's the reality. I mean, if you've been in for a while and you know what's going on, um, take Hacksaw Ridge when they didn't trust Doss, but he turned out to be the best one of the group. Well, and exactly, you don't know what a person's going to do. I can't sit here and tell you this is what I'm going to do when something happens because I don't know. I mean, I have an idea. I've been in situations, so I know how to handle myself. But when there are bullets coming at you from the other way, it's a different perspective, and I think that a lot of people never take that into consideration. They don't. It's a whole different mindset, and some people are going to step up, and some people that you think are going to step up are not going to step up. It's reality, you know. It's a whole, like I said again. You can blow smoke up my behind and tell me how you would do this or you would do that, unless you've been under fire, unless you've been in that combat situation, you don't know. So I have never been in combat. All right, I've never been in combat, but no training can prepare you for reality. Exactly. So I mean, when I hear these people say, "Oh well," when SHTF happens, I'm just going to come and take your stuff, and I that mindset, number one, that you think you're going to come and take something, uh, is insanity to begin with. Because, as I've said before, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn and say that, oh, I'm a super super tough guy, but you're not coming in here and just taking my stuff. It's not going to happen. Okay, it's just not going to happen. Not without a fight. And so again, when you're in that situation, and I'm going to tell you, and I've talked about this a few times. I've been in my share of sketchy situations where I had, that it's that fight or flight mentality. Okay. And you have to make a decision on what you're going to do. And when you're making these decisions, what you don't understand, it's not like you have a whole lot of time to contemplate it. It is split second decision, and then you react. That's reality. Okay. And, you know, I have always had the mindset, if I, like, and I've told you guys this, and I told my children this, if I feel, if I'm in a situation and I feel like somebody may try to hurt me, I am going to hurt them first. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I've been in that situation. I've done what I had to do to protect myself and the people that I was with. That's just the way it goes. And there was, and I will be 100% honest with you, and I've told you guys this before as well. I was scared to death in the moment. But once I made that decision and I flipped that switch, if you want to call it that, and I flipped that switch, then it was on, baby. Then it was on. And once I start, there is no turning it off. You know what I mean? It's like you're ready to go. And so some people can handle those situations, some people cannot. And that's the reality. And I'm not trying to say, like, oh, yeah, I know how I'm going to react, but I know how I've reacted, in life, in those situations. I know how I react in an emergency situation being a nurse. I don't panic. Okay. I just don't panic because you can't. Now, after the fact, you might sit down and you'd be like rehashing it in your mind and going, holy crap, that was crazy. But you do what you have to do in the moment. So, what do we got? 289 in the chat, guys. We have 108 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please shoot one to show support for the channel. I thank you ahead of time again. It really does make a big, big difference with the algorithms. So the more interaction, the better it is for the channel. So it's very much appreciated. And we normally don't approve link advertising others without its approval. Yeah, I don't like to do a whole lot of link stuff unless I've seen what the link is leading to first. So thank you, Lady Kicks, for letting them know that. So, but again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. If you have something that you want to say also, please, all cap lock so it stands out for me if you have a question or a comment that you want to put out there. It stands out better for me if it's all cap locks, and I have a tendency to see that first. So thank you for that as well. But anyway, I think, like, you look at World War II. We were trying to stay out. Ed, YouTube is playing games. No accurate thumbs out there. Yeah, I'm seeing 120 right now. Mine's showing 51. Really? I see 100. That's weird. I see 100. Well, it's 121 right now. So, yeah, I don't know. Who knows with YouTube what's going on half the time, to be honest with you. I just do the best I can with it. I try not to get frustrated with the games that are played constantly because it's not going to change anything. It's just not going to. So, and here's the worst part. There's really nobody you can talk to at YouTube. There is no phone number that I could call and say, hey, why am I having these issues? What can be done about it? There's nobody to call. There might be an email, but we all know how those generally go. But anyway, things are going to happen. Once something happens, well, again, going back to what I was saying, World War II. Once we were attacked, and that got us into World War II, you know, that you can talk to an AI. Yeah, right. Yeah, you don't even get that. So, um, but once we were attacked, as the captain of the Armada of Japan said, I think the only thing that we've done is awoken a sleeping giant. And the reality is, we might have our issues in this country, but when push comes to shove, we stand up, and that's all races in this country. We stand up and we take care of our business. I mean, you look at a great example would be people that have been crapped on more than anybody else in this country. Hey, Robert Peters. Unfortunately, our U.S. military couldn't find his way out of a wet paper bag right now with its woke politics. That hurts the military. I agree that does hurt the military, Robert. But within that group of people, there are some really good people in there that are squared away and know the real deal, and they just have to play the game, unfortunately, right now. The politics and the woke politics is nonsense. It should have no part in the military at all. We should not be having men led, okay? And this is just strictly my opinion when I say this. Um, we should not have our men led by men who are confused of who they are and wanting to dress a certain way and do different things. There's no place in the military for that. There just isn't. No, you want to do that? I have no problem with you doing whatever you got to do as a civilian. Knock yourself out. But when you're leading men, and it's basically men into combat, you need to have that stuff squared away. And you have to have competence. Again, remember I said this, competence in your leadership. Because if you don't, they're not going to be around long. That's a reality, folks. That is a reality. So, but, I just, we invest a lot of money. We invest more money in our military than any other country in the world. So the toys that we have definitely gives us a better advantage. Now, if our own government would take the shackles off of us and let us use those toys the way that we should, that would be different. Here's something, and I'm gonna talk about this a second too, because I've seen so much about this that it amazes me, the mindset of a lot of the people in the public. Now, of course, again, the small groups that scream the loudest get the attention, as we know. Okay, so right now there. Oh, well, so we'll start out with this. The UN has demanded, and I love this. This is what kills me. The UN has demanded an immediate ceasefire, um, in the Gaza Strip, right? Because they said, this has to stop. This is terrible and stuff like that. What Israel is doing now, you got to remember too. Now, the numbers that you're hearing about, right? So the deaths in the Gaza Strip are being put out by Hamas. So again, how accurate are they realistically? Is propaganda a big part of what Hamas does? Absolutely. Okay. So I'm not saying civilians haven't been killed. I'm not saying that at all. But when Hamas went into Israel and killed indiscriminately, they targeted women, children, old people. That's who they targeted. Okay, they weren't just going after the soldiers. Now, again, do I believe that women and children and old people have died, um, you know, in the Gaza Strip? Absolutely. Do I believe it's the numbers that they're saying? I don't. Okay, my opinion, that when you're having the propaganda put out by a certain entity, to try to gain favor of the world. But here's where I'm going to tell you what, I've made my stand before, and I'll make my stand again. I back Israel 100%. They need to do what they need to do to eradicate Hamas. And you know what? If civilians die because of that, those same civilians are the ones that allowed Hamas to be in charge. Remember that, okay? So Israel had enough. They've gone in and said, we're taking care of business. And if the rest of you don't like it, too bad. And like I said again, I have no problem with whatever way Israel has to do what they have to do to eradicate Hamas. I will stand by that. If you don't like it, if it hurts your feelings, if you're too sensitive, then don't watch my freaking channel, because I really don't care. I don't. Okay? This is my opinion. It's my channel. I can say whatever I want on my channel. You want to have an opinion and you want to have a channel and say whatever you want to say on your channel, knock yourself out. But to me, okay, and this is the way that I look at it, there is no justification for cutting the heads off of children on purpose to attack and target children, kill them that way, um, when they were doing nothing there was no provocation. All right. So again, do what you want to say. Like I said, it doesn't matter to me. What Israel has to do after the acts that were perpetrated against their country, good for them. Take care of what you got to take care of, and that's what they're doing. And that's you take hostages to try to use those as a bargaining chip, right? That's what they use hostages for. So, but like I said, I believe they have the right to do what they need to do, and that's it. So, if the rest of the world don't like it, oh well, too bad. You don't screw with Israel, folks. Okay, Israel is no joke. They will take care of their business. They'll do what they have to do. Now, let me re-say something here, just so we're 100% clear. Are we ever going to be given the full story? Right? Because there was the rumor that Israel knew this attack was coming. They let it happen so they could do what they're doing now. Is that true? I have no idea. I have no idea. Okay. Like I said again, are we ever going to get the full story? No, we're never ever going to get the full story. So, you know, I'm tired, to be honest with you, of our money. So there's another point I want to make too, and this I think is very interesting too. And somebody made this point, and I'd love to give the guy credit who did it, but I can't remember who it was. Somebody sent it to me. Um, but anyway, I'm tired of us funding wars in other countries to fight other countries. It's not our business. We need to stay out of it, and that's the fact. We need to take care of our own country. But somebody had made this point, and I thought it was interesting. Basically, daily on the TV, you're seeing this situation with Israel and Hamas, correct? In the Gaza Strip, you're seeing it all the time, all over the news, showing, giving you updates of exactly what's going on and what's happening, right? But have you seen a lot of video footage of the war with Russia in Ukraine? Where are the embedded journalists fighting in there with with the Ukrainians to get the daily update, and so we're getting those updates. We're not. We're not seeing anything. Yeah, we don't see anything. So what's going on? So what's going on? That's interesting. Oh, and I think it's interesting. That's another thing I think is interesting. So they subpoena Biden, Hunter Biden, to come in before this committee, and he refused to go. He absolutely refused to go. Are you freaking kidding me? Now, let me ask you this. If you or I refused to go after being subpoenaed, where do you think we would be sitting right now? We would be sitting in jail. Yeah, if we refuse, we'd be in jail. Exactly. So, how is this even acceptable? But, yeah, under the jail, James. Yeah, you're right. You know, but it's just, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, some of these elites, if you will, think they can do anything that they want to do. They can say anything that they want to say, and it's perfectly fine. And they've gotten away with it for so long. They think they can just continue to get away with it. Um, but the rest of us are supposed to live by a different rules and do what we're told. Be good citizens. Don't make any waves. It's absolutely crazy. And how many billions, realistically, how many billions have we shipped over to Ukraine? And why aren't we being shown how that money is being spent? Where's the accounting of how that money is being spent? That would be another thing. Anybody else have YouTube trying to digitally ID you with your driver's license? I have not had that happen, Billy the Kid. No, I haven't had that happen. Oh, we've sent over more than 60 billion, Larry. Way, way more than 60 billion. But yeah, a lot of the money is going to pensions. I knew we were paying for teachers and doctors and their retirement stuff. Prepared Family says 160 billion. Timothy's saying closer to 200 billion. I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of money either way. Um, I just got an email today. They want me to take a picture of my ID and they would hold it on file. It's probably not YouTube, Billy the Kid. It's probably somebody else. So I would not. I absolutely would not do that because I've never had YouTube ever ask for anything like that. Yeah, it sounds like a scam. So definitely don't do that. Yeah. So Yeah, it is definitely the season for scammers. They're looking, it's just like there's different things where they're trying to get, they're fishing for as much of your information as they can get. I've seen like one of the things that I got recently. Okay, uh, oh, we're from UPS and we're trying to deliver your package. I don't have a package coming, right? We need your information, so that we can get this delivered. And I'm like, this is crap. That's nonsense. And they make it look like they're from UPS, but they're not from UPS, especially when I know I don't have a package coming from UPS. So, and packages have been delivered here from UPS, so I know they have the information that they need to have. Yeah, I would not trust that at all. Are we requiring the Ukraine people to pay taxes since we are paying their salaries? Yeah, I doubt that. Don says UPS wouldn't do that. I used to work there. Yeah, I knew it was. I knew it was a scam. So I just ignore those when I see that type of stuff. I don't reply at all. I just delete it. But FBI is warning of attacks with stronger words this week heading into the holiday season. Well, and the thing is, there was the big thing that came out as well. Uh, you know, that came out is they were talking about Chinese cyber attacks. They've amped it up. They never stopped. That's the thing I think is interesting. They've never stopped the cyber attacks. They have not stopped at all. Cyber attacks happen every single day. What you're not hearing anymore, right? What you're not hearing anymore, um, excuse me, is you know all the attacks because they don't want you to know about them because they don't want you to be scared, pull you out of XYZ bank or any of that type of stuff. So send a picture. That's funny. Oh yeah, you won. I get all those all the time too, Sandy. Yeah, you've won this and you've won that. Yeah, great. What I generally do is I just send it to spam. So the Vatican has canceled Christmas services. Really? I did not hear that one. That's a big money maker for the Vatican. Christmas. So yeah, like I said, you know, our military may not be perfect, but we have, like I said again, we have better toys than other countries. We put so much money into our military, and yeah, is a lot of it siphoned off and bribes and whatever else. I'm sure that that's a possibility. I can't say for sure because I'm not there. I'm not in the now, But I don't think that we ever paid $600 for a hammer. I find that difficult to believe. I would hope that that would be wrong. So, uh, JB has made our America so weak we have no chance. Oh, again, I'm going to say this again. Ed, are you aware of the gunpowder shortage announced by some ammo makers? Price supposed to jump January 1st. Southern Prepper One did a video on that. I'm going to tell you. So here's my advice to people. Um, here's my advice to you, and I've talked a little bit about this before. They are never going to be able to take away our guns. There's just absolutely no, I don't care what laws they put in, they're never going to be able to take away our guns. But what they can do is they can stop us from getting ammunition. So I think you're seeing those type of things coming into place, if you will, with the threat of this, that, or the other thing. And so it's going to be, oh yeah, shortage of this. There's probably no shortage of black powder. There's just, now I've seen plenty of ammo out there. I've been to a couple different places recently, and Ed, we boots on the ground people said we are short of weapons parts. That doesn't surprise me either, to be honest with you. But my advice to people would be right now, whatever guns you got, that's great. You better get your ammo stocked up. And even if it is black powder, get black powder. Get your reloaders. If you can't be, if you get into a situation where you can't buy ammo, you may be reloading your own. So if you are prepared for that, oh, neighbor Bob, just so you know too, I showed it earlier. I don't know if you saw it or not, my friend, but thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very much appreciate the shirt. Very, very kind gesture on your part, and thank you. So, did you see anything on the egg shortage that culled a lot of chickens? I remember when they were doing that, and then of course the prices of eggs went up exponentially. And then when they came down, have they ever gone back down to where they were before? That's kind of what I think is interesting because it never seems to ever go back to where it was before the pre-scare. So they'll jump it up here, and then they bring it back down to about here, but it never goes back down to here where it was. I think that that's always interesting. They do that with oil and gas prices all the time as well. I don't know if you guys saw this. There was a threat from Saudi Arabia. The OPEC was talking about they might open up and increase production, which would cause oil prices to go down. So, again, where have you found the best ammo prices? The best way, honestly, I don't like to buy ammo online. I'll be honest with you because then there's a record of it. If I go into a gun store and I buy whatever I want to buy, they're not getting an ID and they're not saying, well, hey, you know what? Prepper Nurse One just bought XYZ amount of ammunition, and then you get put on a little bit of a list. When you're buying ammunition online, there if you don't think that that's being tracked somewhere, I hate to think that you'd be a little delusional in my opinion, especially if you're buying large quantities of ammo. So the best deals you're going to get is online, realistically. But again, I'm a big believer in getting. Just stop, baby. Go on. Not now. Relax. After my stream, I'll take you out. Okay, I promise. I'm getting the side look. I'm like that side look. Yeah, you're fine. Um, but I just I like to when I get ammo, I like to go into a gun store, get what I need to get, and do what I got to do and pay cash, and then there's no trace of anything. That's what I like to do when I do that type of thing. And so that's just me. I don't like to give out. Stop. I don't like to give out information if I don't have to. So, I mean, sometimes you don't have a choice. Hell, stop. Seriously, baby. Go on. What are they going to do? Show up at your PO box and take it? No, but like I said again, if you, I'll get like an example. Let's say you're getting 223, right? So you're buying 1,000 rounds at a pop, and if you're buying 1,000 rounds at a pop on a semi-regular basis, somebody's watching that, and then you're flagged. Okay, you're flagged, and they're gonna maybe investigate you a little bit. You may never know that you're being investigated, but they're going to investigate you. It's just like when a good example would be, and I'll give you the example from when I was in New York, right? So when I was in New York doing my thing up there, people called the town and they said, "Hey, this guy is doing this, that, and the other thing out there." The next thing the code enforcement came out and the tax people came out, and they measured all my buildings and said you need to do X, Y, and Z, and then my taxes went up. All right, that's what happens. There's always consequences for anything. See, people on YouTube like to play little games. Obviously, it gives them their jollies, whatever. That's their thing. Um, it's all part of the game that you got to deal with. You know, I, being on YouTube, I was talking to somebody and I said, they said, what would you recommend, if you want to get a YouTube channel? I said, the first thing, if you want to do a YouTube channel, I said, you better get a thick skin. You better get a thick skin. And they're like, what do you mean? Because of the nonsense of people that are a-holes, realistically, that want to try to cause you trouble any way they possibly can. You go back and you look, a good example would be Troy from the do-it-yourself world. Now, some of you may know who he is, and some of you may not. That guy was persecuted. I mean, absolutely persecuted. Now, did he screw up a lot of stuff? Yup, he sure did. But he wasn't a bad guy, and he wasn't hurting anybody. And but there was this group of people that hated him and did everything they possibly could to jam him up. Okay, they've done the same thing to me, and guess what? I don't give a crap. I ain't going anywhere. I don't. I have met so many more awesome people through my channel. Okay. I've met so many awesome people through my channel that I never would have met if I hadn't been on YouTube. And so, you know what? You take the good with the bad, you know? Oh yeah, it's just and like I said, it's a game and they get their jollies out of it and they try to cause you problems and it's just what they do, you know? People were trying to Pitt Gossan Prepper and Alaska Prepper, and they both got caught into the game. Yeah, see the thing is, and that's the thing is, if you feed into it, and that's part of the problem, and it's very, I'll be honest with you, it's hard not to. It's hard to. I mean, we're human beings, and when somebody's attacking you, you have to come to a point where you go, okay, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. We'll do egg count in just a second, guys. I promise. The problem that I have is this: they talk about all this crap on YouTube, and this safety and that safety, but they let these a holes just do whatever they want to do. Um, there was one channel. God, I can't think of. They were up in the mountains someplace. I mean, they had people driving by their house and taking pictures of them and their family, and it's just insanity. Just because they don't like them, and I'm going to tell you, and I've told you guys, there are channels out there that I don't care for. I don't like them. Right? Could be the voice, could be their content, whatever. Guess what? I don't watch them. I don't watch them. It's just like I'm an adult. I don't care for them. I don't watch them. I don't troll on them. I don't do any of that type of stuff. So I don't get the mindset. I really, really don't. Well, I hate you, but I'm going to watch you every single day and try to find something that I can use to get you in trouble. It's just childish. It's like, and a lot of it is jealousy and pettiness, and they wish they could do what you're doing, but don't have the balls to do it. Whatever. So, but anyway, so let's go ahead and go on and do egg count. How many eggs today? And yes or no for the white hen. Did she lay or not? So I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses up there, and we will go from there. Now, in the spring, I just want you to know we will be adding more chickens in the spring. So the egg count will not be as easy to guess, especially since right now we have 6 chickens, 6 hens. So, um, it's much easier to get a good guess and and go from there. So give you guys a moment to get your guesses, and I am actually going to get a drink. We're at 327 in the chat. We got 167 thumbs up. If you have not had a thumbs or shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you very much for doing so. Also, it does make a huge difference with the algorithm. So the more interaction, the better it is for the channel. So I do appreciate it for that reason as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So if you had the same exact guess, is Dale in Ohio with 3 eggs today and yes for the white hen, then you are 100% correct. And yep, and again, this time of year, I am not going to complain getting 3 eggs out of 6 hens. And, it's technically winter. I mean, we're in the middle of December now, and we're getting closer to this winter solstice, which I can't wait. 8 days away, the 21st of December is the winter solstice. And let's get that behind us and have the days start getting longer. And so, congratulations, Dale. You've won absolutely nothing, and you are happy. So, that's a good thing. So, but anyway, yeah, we're moving some gravel, just trying to get some paths put in place. So when everybody comes down next month, it's going to be better for everybody. It's going to definitely be better. Walking around. I still have to make another path from the path here turned into the pavilion. I showed you on video what I need to do there, and that will be done as well. But you know, that's an just it's a matter. I did a few loads of gravel today, and then my shoulder said, "That's enough," and I went, "Okay, shoulder, I'll listen to you, and I'll stop doing it for right now." If I do a couple loads and then I have to wait a day and do another couple loads, I don't care. It's all right. It'll get done. So yeah, increase the number of hours of light your chickens get. Well, like I said, it's like to me right now. I don't do the egg count in New York right now, Terrence. They're not laying up there. They're not getting very many eggs at all. So no, I did not do a live stream last Sunday. I what so what happened Sunday? I'll tell you real quick what happened Sunday. Uh, it rained all day Sunday, and we were outside and we were doing stuff, and I ended up catching a chill, and I just didn't have the energy to do the live stream. I just didn't, and I was like just whipped. And so I did sit and watch the Cowboy game, though, Dale from Ohio. Yes, I did. My boys took care of business. Hopefully, shut up some people that said they hadn't beat nobody. Well, now they beat Philadelphia, and now they're in first place in the East, and they're the 2 seed right now, and we'll see how. I mean, they got a tough schedule going out. They got a tough schedule finishing out. There's no doubt about that. But we'll see what happens. But go Cowboys! 10-3, first place in the East. 49ers are you got the number 1 seed because they beat both Dallas and Philly heads up. So yeah, Buffalo next. They should take even though it's in Buffalo. Uh, Cowboys are too good. They're too, and Bills have not been consistent at all. So we'll see. You know, we'll see what happens. But we got to play the Bills on the road. Then we play Miami on the road, and then we go home and we play Detroit, and then we finish up the season on the road against the Redskins. And I'm never going to use their new name, so they're the Washington Redskins. So, but what do you think about the Jets versus Giants game? What about it? The Giants suck. So they won 3 in a row. Whoopee, they got what 5 wins now. So yeah, any day there's anything can happen in the NFL. Teams that you don't expect to lose. So yeah, like I said, I've been a diehard Cowboy fan since I was 9 years old, and it ain't gonna change. So but yeah, so yeah, Ed, the Cleveland Indians will always be the Indians. I hear you. No, it's like this political correctness crap. Uh, you know. So let me ask. Here's a question for you. Just throw this one out there, just because why not? Um, has taking the Indian off the Land O'Lakes butter thing done anything for world peace? Has it made the world better? Is getting rid of the black gentleman Uncle Ben off the Uncle Ben's rice? Has that made the world any better? Is getting rid of Aunt Jemima off the syrup label? Uh, you know, getting rid of her, has that made the world any better? I mean, it's just nonsense. It's like that whole woke, ridiculous. It's just like old monuments, right? Oh well, we have to take them down because it's offensive. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, it's cancel culture, and people allow them to do it. Well, changing the names of sports teams because oh heaven forbid that they use the Washington Redskins. They were the Washington Redskins forever. You know, well, yeah, why remove an entire culture as if it doesn't exist? Exactly. So, yeah, Aunt Jemima, the lady that portrayed that character, she was proud to play that character, and it's just the stupidity of our society today. That's what's going to be our downfall. And the thing is, those are the people too. Just so you know, those type of people, they don't go in the military, folks. Those woke, super sensitive. Their butt gets hurt over everything. People, they don't go in the military, and if they do, they don't make it. You know, they don't make it. So, but I don't know. Like I said, it's just the whole thing. I mean, you look at the cartoons. I grew up with all the cartoons and Wile E. Coyote and all that, and the violence on the cartoons. You know what is weird? I didn't grow up and go out and just start shooting people because I saw, violence on cartoons as a child. I don't know. I just don't get it. And now, heaven forbid, we got to get rid of that. You can't have. My God, it was. Oh my God, there's so many of the cartoons. You had Sam, Yosemite Sam, with Bugs Bunny. So many of the Bugs Bunny ones. I mean, my goodness, you know, just crazy. But it's just, yeah, if they really want to downsize, take warning labels off. Yeah, Speedy Gonzales. Yeah, Roadrunner. It's just all of it. Overall, it's so Roadrunner. It's with Wile E. Coyote, and you know it was funny as a kid. You knew it wasn't real. It was a cartoon. I mean, give kids a chance to have some freaking common sense. That's the thing. Let them have some common sense. So what? Can I help you? Can I be of assistance? She's a bad child. Are you a bad child? Say no. She's a beautiful dog. So anyway, just what was the other one with the cat and the mouse? Something was it? Okay, stop. Tom and Jerry. Yes, thank you. Hey, no, stop. Not when I'm done. Now stop right now. No, I don't care. I want my attention now. But I mean, we played. We had cap guns. I mean, I remember having cap guns and all that type of stuff. We had jarts. Remember the jarts, and we now they can't even have those anymore because people are too stupid and they hurt themselves with them. BB guns. Oh my God, yeah. It's crazy. You know, we got sent out. Get out of the house. Leave us alone. Come back when it's dark. They didn't know where we were. They didn't know what we were doing. So I don't know. It's a whole different mindset today. Call of Duty is training the generation how to operate in war. That's not even close to reality, Devin James. That's not reality. That's not reality. I mean, playing a game, that's not going to teach you squat. It's really not going to teach you squat. You get out there and get in the real world. See, here's the thing. What I think is funny. Well, you'll have certain people. Okay, can't wait. Oh my God, let's just have SHTF happen. Can't wait for it to happen. But they're not prepared at all, right? They don't do anything. They've done no preparation. They've done no training. They've done no information seeking of what can I do if something happens to make my life better and stuff like. They don't do any of that stuff. They have this fantasy in their head of what it's like. Any prepper that's a real prepper that you talk to will tell you they hope SHTF never happens. I hope SHTF never happens. And I hope I have an awesome compound down here with dear friends that can come down and we can hang out and we can do our thing and we can be in peace and grow our food and have our animals and be able to do all that. I would love that to be the case. Do I believe that's going to be the case? I don't. I think SHTF is coming. It's just a matter of time. And it's how we react when that time comes that's going to make the difference if we make it or not. It's not about it's not about some fantasy nonsense on a game that you play that teaches you nothing. Does that teach you to listen to what you need to listen to in the woods when you're in the woods and you have to be quiet and sit and be not moving and just sit there and listen, that doesn't prepare you for that type of stuff. It doesn't prepare you when somebody's shooting back at you and trying to kill you. Okay? There's nothing that's going to prepare you for that. So when that time comes, you either going to step up or you're not. That's the reality of it. And the thing is, and I just want you to realize this too, okay? It's okay to be afraid in that situation. It's okay to be afraid. Um, as I told you earlier in the stream, every single time I've been in a situation where I had to make a decision to either fight or flight, and I never ran. That's just not in my nature. But um, if I've been in that situation, I was scared right up until I did something. And then when I did something, boom, turned it over, So, what was your favorite MRE? Oh my God, I can't even think about I don't remember anymore, to be honest with you. I don't even remember anymore. So, I was brought up here in Australia where most types of wildlife will try to kill you daily. I consider my childhood was my training. And there's nothing wrong with that because that's reality. Absolutely, that's reality. The thing is, I want you to think about this. I don't care what kind of training you have. I don't care if you're a Navy SEAL, okay? If you step wrong in the woods and you twist that ankle and you have a mechanical injury that you don't have help, you don't have anybody there that's going to help you, and you can't take care of it yourself, game's over, folks. That's the end of the line. So that to me is one of the biggest things, and I've talked about this so much. Having to have a group of people to work with you, it makes all the difference in the world. If you have people that are going to have your back, that mechanical injury doesn't have to be the end of you. It can be a temporary setback. Okay, so just something to think about. All the training in the world ain't going to save you if there's nobody there to help you when something happens to you. And guess what? The chances are at some point something is going to happen. Think about, okay, just the flu, right? We'll do shout outs in just a second, but I want you to think of it like this. You look at our environment today and how people get sick on a regular basis, okay? Now put yourself in a situation where you're spending a whole lot more time out in the weather, rain, snow, sleet, whatever, because you haven't got a choice. You're going to be much more susceptible to getting sick at that point because of what you have to do outside. All right. If you don't have people that have your back, you're going to be in big, big trouble. And that's what I try to explain to people all the time. So, yeah, video gamers think they're John Wick or something. Yeah, it's not reality. It's just not. So, all right, so let's do some shout outs here, guys. We're going to start out with Heavenly Hills Homestead, growing giant vegetables. Ed, have you used a Mr. Buddy heater in the camper? Did it work? I have not used one in the camper. No, I have not. So, also, we have Jason down in New York City. Great guy down there. Definitely give him some support. Angry Prepper. There is Alaska Prepper. That's Rudy. There's Alaska Granny. You have Mary Greeley News as a great channel. You have Appalachia Homestead with Patera. There is Corporal's Corner, Bjorn Hansen. You have Girl in the Woods and Bush Radical Husband Wife Team. There is Southern Prepper 1. You have Ryan Hall, y'all, with the weather. Great guy with the weather. The Economic Ninja. There is Magic Prepper up in North Dakota. You have Doug and Stacy, been around for a long time. There's Gray Man Prepping. You have Camping with Steve Wallace, who does stealth camping. A lot of fun to watch him. The Nomadic Movement down in Panama. Nice young couple down there. There is Deep South Homestead, another family-friendly oriented channel. Real good people there. You have Survival Lily over in Europe, giving us all the information of what's going on over there. The Needy Homesteader, she's been around for a long time. You have uh, There's Green Greg's is another really good channel. You have oh my goodness, Truly Tara, uh, Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast. There is Pinball Preparedness, East Tennessee Preparedness. You have the Economic Ninja. I may have said that already. Mary Greeley News, giving you all the latest of what's going on with Yellowstone and the earthquakes. There's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, another really good channel. There's Prep Rebel. Let's see. Suspicious Observer, letting you know what's going on with the sun. Really interesting there. There is, let's see, trying to remember if there's anybody else that I can think of off the top of my head that I'm missing. Uh, um, Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. Let's see. Oh, Sean James in My Self Reliance. Two different channels, same guy, great channel. I like Idaho Hillbilly too. I've watched him quite a few times. I never gave him a shout out before, but there's another interesting channel out there in Idaho. So definitely check them out as well. Like I said, there's a lot of good channels out there. There's a lot of good information. We should. I know I got to get my list back. I'm pretty sure I have it here. I asked Heather to look up there. She said it wasn't up there. So I have it out in the Wolf Slayer. I have to go through some stuff and find it, but I probably already have it here. I'm pretty sure I brought it back. I just haven't found it yet. I've been busy, so not making excuses, but I just been busy. But anyway, so we'll get it all figured out. But anyhow, a lot of good information out there, a lot of good channels. We should be supporting each other. Oh, Russell Brand, I didn't say. That's right. Forgot about him. Love Russell Brand. Gives you the information and you makes you let you decide if you like it or not. And I like that. So all right, so that's it for the shout outs for right now. Again, guys, I'm always going to continue to encourage you to prep, continue to encourage you to get ready. We never know what's going to happen, so it's really important that we do the best that we can with whatever time we have left. There is no, this is how much time we have. We no idea. When it happens, it happens. We'll have to deal with it when that time comes. But the more prepared you are, it puts you in a better position to be able to do the things that you need to do. And I think that that's important. But I haven't gone back and messed with that yet, Larry. But I will. I'll go back. I'll do a video on that when I do that. So we will we'll break down. We'll get up on the roof of the shipping container and look there first. So, but anyway, like I said, again, just do the best that you can, prepare the best that you can. Bees are gone, Billy the Kid. They're gone. No bee bodies. They're just gone. So I'm not sure exactly what happened. I talked to the people that I got the bees from, and they said it probably was too much room to try to keep warm for the bees, and if they left, it was probably to their demise because they wouldn't have time to rebuild anything someplace else. So we're just gonna we're gonna take it as a learning lesson, and we're gonna kind of go from there. I went over it a little bit with some stuff, but it is what it is. I mean, I would rather have something happen now while it's not life and death, figure out what we did wrong, readjust for next year, get more bees in here. And what we're going to try to do next year is get at least 2 hives going next year and, go from there. And we got to start already because a lot, there's 2 boxes were full of comb. And so I'm going to have to break all that down and really take a look and see if there's anything. There may not be. Like I said, we're just going to play that one by ear. And, you know, it unfortunately, it is what it is. Bees thrive up in this area. So it's not like, oh, it's, too high elevation and it's too cold. That has nothing to do with it. Nope. No, it wasn't I'm not 100% sure what happened, but, I don't think there's any honey left, Morning Light. To be honest with you, I have to look. I really got to break. Like I said, I took the boxes off and I kind of looked, but I didn't see any bees. So I'm gonna really kind of go through the whole thing, and I'll do it on video. I'll break the whole thing down, and we'll do it on video, and I'll kind of explain what's gonna happen for next year, and so we'll go from there. We'll learn. We'll learn. Like I said again, learning lesson. It happens. What can you do? But again, right now it's not life or death, so it's the best time to learn. So we'll go from there. But anyway, let's do this. We are Legion because we are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? We have the UP of Michigan with Dawn, Franklin County, Ohio. We got Arkansas in the house. There is Southwest Iowa with Vicky, Central Iowa with Robert, Northwest Arkansas with Tina, Omaha, Nebraska with Larry, Southwest Ohio with Barbara, Nowhere, Oklahoma with Okie Forge, Janet up in BC, Canada, Palatico, Idaho with Janita, Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house, Birdsboro, Pennsylvania with Melissa, West Coast of Florida with Kit, Springfield, Illinois with Tim, Emil up in BC, Canada as well, Austin, Texas with Billy the Kid, Nostradamus with from Georgia, the beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds with Pennsylvania Granny, southeastern Michigan, Raleigh, North Carolina with Terrence, East Central Illinois. We got West Virginia with Morning Light, UP of Michigan with Dina, Nebraska in the Sandhills with Lone Wolf Prepper, Santa Cruz, California with Kathy. We got Quebec, Canada with Luke, Ozarks in Missouri with Forest Ghost Preparedness, Cape Cod, Mass, Central Florida with Devin, Cedar Creek, Ohio with Mikey, Missouri in the Ozarks. We have Rapal, Maryland. Let's see, Nebraska's in the house with Sean. Wagonkin, Illinois. We have Nova Scotia, Canada with Our Life Off Grid. West Central Ohio with Dale. There is Western New York with Karen. Texas Hill Country with Honey. Greenlee County, Arizona with Codster. Blueberry, Somewhere in Time. I like that. But again, we're all over the country, folks. We're all over the world. We're a huge, huge network of people. Southeast Tennessee with Broken Dolly. We're the ones that truly can make a difference now by trying to wake people up. You're not going to wake everybody up. That's a fact. But if you just try to do the best you can, it's going to make a difference. They will be very much more willing to be receptive when the time comes. They will definitely be listening then. Don't forget South Park, Colorado. There you go. But yeah, it's just, it is what it is. But anyhow, well, we got Yatesville, Georgia. People will listen when it's their life and death is involved, but that's not the time that we should be trying to get things squared away. It needs to be now while it's not. But there's a lot of people that are not prepared at all, and they're going to need our help. So I think we should do the best that we can to try to help them when that time comes. Uh, you know, Teach them something. If you want to feed them, that's going to be up to you. The reality is, if you start feeding people, they're going to leave, come back with more people looking for more food. You can't feed dead people, folks. It doesn't do any good, honestly. You want to take people into your groups. It's going to be the best way that you're going to survive long term is by grouping up. But again, you know, I would rather have the people that I know as my core group ahead of time so that I have people that I know I can count on when that time comes. You know, that makes all the difference. That makes all the difference. Lady Kick says, "Yep, that's why I won't be feeding people." You can't realistically, because you can't save everybody. You just can't. That's not, if you give them one meal and send them on their way, um, you're just prolonging the inevitable. Because unless they can figure out how to do something that's going to make their life better, you're wasting, you're throwing away food that you need for your group. Now, if you have a tremendous abundance of food, do what you want to do. You have to think about that. It's going to come down to personal choice, but you really have to. And they should prepare like us. They should, but they don't, Lady Kicks. I mean, if you think about it, 95%, that's a lot of people, are not prepared for a 2 week disaster. That's scary. That, or 93%, I think it is now. 93% are not prepared for a 2 week disaster. That means there's a lot of victims out there, and they're going to feel entitled to what you have. And if you won't share or give it to them, they will try to take it. Maybe not at that exact moment, but they'll be back. Yep, yep. If you feed them once, they'll be back. Exactly, and you just can't. So yeah, a sign that says warning shots are too expensive. Like I've told you guys before, I mean, it may sound cruel as cruel can be. Uh, you take down a few of the marauders, you put their heads on spikes by the road, and you say, marauders will be shot. It's a very effective tool, and people will think twice about it. That's reality. Um, you know, some of you may say, "Oh, I could never do that." You'll be surprised what you'll be able to do when the time comes. You have to be ruthless because they're going to be ruthless because you have it and they don't and they want it. Again, and I've said this before. I'll mention it really quickly. The most dangerous person in an SHTF situation is the person that is desperate, has nothing to lose, okay, and they're scared. They're the most dangerous person out there because they're willing to do whatever they have to do to get what they want. That's something that you have to think about. It really is. So you have to be willing to do what you have to do to protect what you've sacrificed for, that you've put away for, that you didn't go on vacation or whatever it is that you had to do. We had a young couple live next door to us a few years ago. He got out of work. We fed him a Thanksgiving meal. She showed up at our door every day for the next month wanting food. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, and that happens. You got some people that if children are needing your help, would you turn them away? It would depend on the circumstance, Peter. To be honest with you, I can't say for sure exactly what I would do in the situation, but people will also use children to get what they want. Okay, so don't think that all these children are going to be little innocent children that need help. Now, if they're really young, if they're really young, you would want to definitely take little. And when I say young, I'm talking under 5. Okay, under 5. Other than that, they could be a plant to come in there and try to break you down. Yep, Lady Kicks just said it. Yep. So you have to be smart. You have to be smart. So, but if they're young, you know, take them in absolutely because they can be the future for your group. You're going to need younger blood. So turning away every single one is not practical, but you have to be smart about when you do it. It's going to be on a base by base, case by case basis is what it's going to be. So anyway, guys, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. Just like become Rick Grimes. You have to do what you have to do in a situation, and you know, but it is what it is. But again, my ladies and gentlemen that moderate for me, thank you so much, very much appreciated. I want to thank all you guys for being here, supporting the channel. It does mean a lot to me, and I do appreciate you being here. And bearded dictatorship, Rick Grimes, yeah, right. Yeah, he got to a point where he just said, "Screw it, I'm making the call." He did what he had to do. I mean, I know that's TV and it's sensationalized and all that and stuff, but there was a lot of reality in that series, folks. A lot of reality. So, but Terrence Parker Jr. said, "Adam, concerned about this country." Me too, brother. I'll be honest with you. Me too. I have a lot of concerns. A lot of concerns. Yeah, Rick was a leader, not a manager. Exactly. And you need a leader in that situation. You have to be, so again, the character Rick Grimes did what he had to do to make sure his group survived. Period. Period. And that's what you have to do. You have to do what you have to do to keep your group alive. And I'm telling you right now, and I'm like I said again, this is not coming from a point of me saying I'm a tough guy or anything. It's nothing to do with that. But I am willing to do whatever is necessary when the time comes. That is a fact. Anybody that has known me throughout my life, like Steve's known me for 27 years, um, I don't play. It's just the way it is. I don't play. And when we get to that point in time, we'll do what we have to do. And that's just how it goes. But anyway, guys, remember, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. Uh, you know, we really need to come together as human beings. That would be great if that could happen. I don't ever see it happening realistically, just because of the way people are. But if we could do that, we could accomplish so much. It would be scary. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen. No, I don't think Trump will save us. I don't think there's the people that have in mind what they want to do. There is no saving us from them. So has good intentions, my opinion only, but they're too deeply embedded, and they have an agenda. Look what they did, the last time. Just so economy was booming, things were going great, and then lo and behold, a pandemic came up. So just something to think about. Anyway, guys, also remember, last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, yes, I'm almost done. You can do it. The only one stopping you from reaching your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. Set realistic goals, folks, and then set about to making them happen. I know, baby. I know. I'm coming. So hang in there, guys. Keep prepping. I will see you all in the next one. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now. Okay, stop. Stop. We're going out. Yes, we're going out.